Hello and welcome to Impact the Borough, the podcast from the Greensboro Chamber of Commerce. I'm Brent Christensen, President and CEO of the Chamber. Each week, we'll check in with our partners to share inspiring stories and important information from across the borough, highlighting what we're doing to start and grow businesses, create quality jobs, and develop our workforce. This podcast is brought to you by Truliant Federal Credit Union, a modern, mission-driven financial institution focused on the needs of its members, the businesses it serves, and our community. With 5 locations in Guilford County, including a dedicated commercial lending office at Friendly Center and a highly rated mobile banking app, Truliant makes it their business to help you grow yours. Visit Truliant.org for more information.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Bramley Crisco, and I am the Director of Talent Development for Action Greensboro. And we are thrilled today to be continuing our series, Impact the Borough, Higher Education. And I'm really excited that we get to highlight through Campus Greensboro all of our university partners. And today we're thrilled to have Guilford Technical Community College with us, as well as Dr. David Pittman, who is the Dean of Campus for GTCC, and a student, Daniela Campbell, who is going to share with us her experience and all of her thoughts on the exciting things happening there at GTCC. So welcome, and we're excited to have this conversation and then to share it further through our podcast. Thank you again for your help. I read recently, I took a look at your website at GTCC and saw that last year you had served more than 14,000 students. And, Dr. Pittman, I'd love for you just to share a high-level overview of what is happening on your campus and the things that are happening there today. And, all of the new things that are happening that other folks may not know about.
Yes, well, thank you for having me here today. It's my honor and privilege to be here as the campus dean. Guilford Technical Community College is an amazing place. It's a comprehensive public 2-year college, which I think sometimes people don't understand or is underrepresented. And we really are, focused on preparing students to further their education, whether it be training or retraining for our Guilford County workforce or preparing students to enter in the workforce. We're currently the 4th largest of the North Carolina Community College system's 58 institutions. And we actually serve 27,500 students annually. We have about 6 campuses, one at Jamestown and of course in Greensboro, one at High Point and in Colfax, and as well, we have an aviation campus. In addition to that, we have a space in Greensboro, in addition to the college, which is a partnership with UNC Greensboro and North Carolina A&T University and Cone Health. And that program supports specialized nursing programs and classes. So as you can see, we have a number of campuses across the triad, and we'd love to have more of you engaged in our learning opportunities.
Well, that is wonderful. And I also thank you because I thought 14,000 was a lot, but I noticed you said 27,000. So you guys are doing lots of work over there, and we're excited to hear more about it. I wanted to ask Daniela. Daniela, will you share what your program is? And I know that you've had an experience for several years there at GTCC, and I'd love to hear a little bit about what you're doing today.
Yeah, so my current program is I'm in the transfer pathway to Spanish. So at GTCC, there's quite a few associates pathways that you can get, ones that transfer to your state 4-year universities, and mine happens to be Spanish. That's the major that I'm in. So I was a CCP student at first, which is GTCC's Career and College Promise. So it's an opportunity for high school students to take credits at GTCC. That transfer to 4-year colleges and at GTech. So that's where I am right now. I'll be completely honest. I'm not sure if that's what I'm going to stick with. That's why I'm at GTech, to try to figure out what it is that I really want to do. But that's where I am today.
Well, that's exactly right. And to have the opportunity to explore is a really great thing. And we appreciate that you're doing it there at GTCC. When you talked about starting you started in high school, correct? Is that you started taking classes there in high school and then you enrolled as a full-time student? Will you share just a little bit about how that happened?
I was homeschooled pretty much my whole life until I would say it was probably senior year. And in the homeschool community, dual enrollment's really important. So a lot of my other homeschool friends would dual enroll at their community colleges. So it was pretty popular for a lot of us junior year to just switch completely to a community college and then work our way up to an associate's. So by the time, we're graduated high school, we have our associates.
Yeah.
For me, I started senior year though, and that was just because I was trying to really figure out my passions, really try to figure out where I wanted school to benefit me, not feel like I had to go like directly into a career path just because. So I started senior year. It was also a pandemic year. So it was a little bit of a crazy transition for me. But I really picked the CCP program because I knew it was going to help me transition a lot easier, not only to GTCC, which I was already eyeing, but I also knew it was going to help me to learn better, I guess you could say, educational skills, time management skills, just really an opportunity for me to grow as a high school student, but also as a future four-year student.
That is great. And thank you. I think that is a pathway that's interesting to a lot of folks. And thank you for sharing that. Dr. Pittman, one of the things I read on the website, and I don't know if it's a tagline but I just thought this was so great. It said, choose GTCC. Your journey to a better life starts here. And I just thought that was a really impactful statement. So would you share just a little bit about the mission of what you all are doing there and a few more details on that?
Yes, well, I think that's a great question. And with GTCC offering more than 80 programs of study, leading to associate degrees, certificates, and diplomas, hundreds of professional development and personal enrichment courses, as well as adult education classes, not to mention our workforce training program, really the journey can begin anywhere, as you've already heard one story that was just told by our student here. So we offer classes in basic skills and our high school equivalency program. Also English for speakers of other languages, our high school programs like career and college promise and early middle college, associate degrees and pathway degrees, as well as transfer programs for our four-year institutions. Our other tagline is to make amazing happen. And one of the things that I really like about that, it was created back in 2021, but it's really a challenge that we issue to our students, our faculty, and our staff, and the community, because amazing really can mean something different to everybody. So it really depends on where your journey begins, where you are in your life, and where you want to go. And so we like to say that we're going to make amazing happen at GTCC.
Very nice. I like the way that sounds and the idea that it applies differently to everyone that hears it or puts it to work. Daniela, that saying, how does amazing happen for you? And how would you share with another student who might be considering, taking the path that you did or looking at GTCC?
I'm going to be honest, I make amazing happen by not being in student loan debt.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, GTCC for me has really been honestly, a super encouraging experience for me. I think a lot of, especially high school students, I've spoken with them and a lot of them are really nervous, not only about transferring to college, but they're even nervous about the prospect of being in college and high school. And I would say for any student, whether it be, adult education, GTech has a ton of occupation stuff too. Whoever I'm talking to, I always encourage them that the affordability and flexibility of GTCC is basically unmatched. You have so many options with classrooms. You don't have to go in person. We have a ton of online options. The faculty and instructors have been the best. You can ask my classmates. I talk about them all the time. it is just a really good place if you put in the work to plug in, to grow, to build a community, to experience so many different things. It's a little bit of a tangent, but from one example, I had recently found out that our cosmetology school gives manicures. And so some of my classmates and I were like, oh my goodness, let's go get manicures. So we just went and we got manicures. We had a good time together. We talked with some of the ladies who, are in the cosmetology school, and it's just at GTech, it's a really great community where everybody is trying to pursue their passions, find their careers and their goals. And it seems intimidating at first, but I really do think GTech is all about what you want to make it to be. And like Dr. Pittman said, your amazing happening is really how much you put into it.
I think that is very accurate, and I appreciate that insight. Dr. Pittman, you are in looking at GTCC and its locations, so we talked about all those different areas in Greensboro. What does that mean for the school as far as location and the community where the programs are sitting? And then I also understand that you have recently, or somewhat recently, what were the things that stood out to you as you looked at GTCC?
I'll tell you, I've been to GTCC 7 months, and one of the things that I like about my job in GTCC is that there are a number of locations, and at each location on each campus, there is a distinct culture, and every campus takes on its own community, and based on what programs are offered, what students are taking courses there, our employees and our staff that work there, our faculty. So I've really enjoyed that there are multiple locations with different identities. That would be the first thing I'd say. The second thing I'd say is that by being in different locations, a variety of locations, it does offer an opportunity for our students to choose which location that they would like to attend. So there's access to public education, public transportation. There's all types of classes offered, as I mentioned before, whether it's adult ed or early middle college, our general education courses. And particularly, we've got some great programs going over on our Greensboro campus related to supply chain, logistics, construction, plumbing, HVAC. And one of our larger programs right now is the truck driving program. What's great about the Greensboro location and a number of locations for community colleges is that sometimes they can be purposefully located in what we call opportunity zones. And opportunity zones are an economic development tool that basically allows people to invest in distressed areas of the United States. So that purpose would be to spur economic growth and job creation in low-income communities while providing the tax benefit to our investors. So we have a number of campuses, each with their own unique identities, and depending on what you're looking for, your journey really can begin anywhere.
I think that's really interesting. And I know, obviously, we have a partnership with GTCC through our Campus Greensboro program. And I know that there are other community partnerships, and that the work there definitely impacts many business organizations here in Greensboro. Are there any particular programs you would highlight that are directly impacting our community, our business resources, anything like that you might share?
So yes, we are connected with employers and industry experts throughout the community. And what I learned recently is that some serve actually in an advisory capacity to ensure that we have the most up-to-date curriculum. We also depend on our community partners to help us identify apprenticeships and job opportunities after graduation for our students. And we also frequently get requests from companies looking for our students because we have a reputation of developing excellence, especially in industry training.
I think that's really great insight and such a valuable partnership for our community. Daniela, are there tools there on campus or online that you've used that you found very valuable that you might recommend another student use?
Yes, 100%. The library, we call it the LRC at the Jamestown campus. I can personally attest that the tutors have definitely saved my grades more than a few times. So definitely our LRC, it has our study rooms, and this is more specific to the Jamestown campus. But The study rooms are on the little plug for you guys. They're on the first floor. And it's a really great place to just chill and study there. There's a computer lab as well that I've been to. Besides the LRC, I'm a really big fan of our Medlin Student Center. I believe it was recently finished. You guys can fact check me on this, but I believe the construction was like completely finished last year. But it is gorgeous. I hang out with classmates there all the time. It really is a great sort of community area. I recently kind of moved from the library to Medlin now just because of the environment. A lot of people are there all the time. It's always so energetic. People are either playing games or someone's playing music. So it's a really great sort of like encapsulation of the energy that you see at GTCC. And then also I recently found out about our counseling center at GTCC, and it's really cool to see students kind of come in and see themselves not only take care of themselves academically, but also in terms of mental health and emotional health as well. I think that's really important as a student to be aware of those things in college. So it's been really cool to work with the Counseling Disability Center at GTech and to help students and have students help me in areas like that.
Well, I think that's so nice to highlight all those different areas, and certainly are things that people may not know unless they're on campus or taking classes. And so thanks for sharing all of those. I want to be sure that if people want to learn more, and Dr. Pittman, would you share with us if somebody is just thinking, it's in the back of their mind, maybe they'd like to take a class or they'd like to learn more, what's the best way for them to be introduced to what you all are doing on all of your campuses?
Yeah, well, I would definitely say don't hesitate. That would be the first piece of advice. Is there's a success story of a woman that I recently heard who was riding down the road with her son who was about to graduate. And he said, you know, it's your birthday and what do you want to do this year? And she said, I want to finish my degree. And in that moment, she decided that she wanted to finish her GED. And she didn't hesitate. So the first thing I would say is to not hesitate. The second thing I would say is two ways. One is you can go to our website, definitely at www.gtc.edu and look at our website there. Or certainly you could call any department that you want to. We also have a call center that you could call. We'd be more than willing to talk to any student who is interested in any of our programs. Just don't hesitate. Look at the website, choose a program. And if you're not sure which program that you want to, you could start at our Student Success Center. We have a number of advisors in our Student Success Center that would engage in a conversation with anybody. We want to engage with students who want to do any number of things, wherever they want to begin. So I would say, check out our website, give us a call, or even come and see us. You can come to any of our locations, ask for anybody in the Student Success Center, and you will definitely have an opportunity to be advised.
I think that's great and a good place to start. Start on the website, and always you can visit. Always two good ways to get started and take a look. Daniela, if you had someone who was wanting to get started, and I know you interact with other students, what do you think the best way? How are they doing it these days?
I kind of have to back up what Dr. Pittman's saying. When it comes to GTCC, I think the best person to like encourage you in your like academic pursuit is yourself. Yes, our advisors are amazing. I got lucky. I have a really great advisor. But it is definitely, GTCC is definitely a place to encourage you in what you're interested in and what you want to pursue. So most of my classmates and what I do is we tend to meet with our advisors and we pick classes from there. But really, I would always encourage to just take, if you have the time, take as many classes that you're interested in as you can. The faculty and advisors I've had have all been super passionate, super nice. I have yet to have a bad experience. I probably never will. So I really have a hard time saying that it's a high risk situation when you're picking classes at GTCC, because the environment there is, we really do want to help equip you to pursue what it is that you want. I would really say, like Dr. Pittman said, go online, look at programs that you're interested in, be they associates, certificates, whatever it is, look at that, look at the DP, get in touch with an advisor, and then go from there.
That's great. Well, I'm getting such great nuggets from this conversation because I've got, make amazing happen. I love that. Don't hesitate. I love that. And it all sort of comes back to that sentence I read that said, your journey to a better life starts here at GTCC. So that sort of seems to be woven through our conversation. And I really like that. Before we wrap up, Dr. Pittman, is there anything that you'd like to add that we haven't chatted about yet?
I'll add on to that piece that you were just talking about. One is that we have very knowledgeable, caring faculty and staff at GTCC. And so I would want anyone who's thinking about joining our community to really think about the kind of community that they want to be in. And we do have high touch and high impact faculty, staff who want to engage in the conversation of where do you want to begin and where do you want to go. I'll just also touch on briefly that we have ample financial aid, we have scholarships, and we also have support for those non-academic challenges that students have. One of the centers that I oversee is called the Titan Link, and the Titan Link serves as an invaluable resource to our students because getting the grade is one thing, making the grade and getting your certificate or your degree is one portion of the college experience, but we also know that what largely interrupts that experience oftentimes are life experiences. So if you're having trouble coming up with your rent money, or if you've had a death in the family and you don't have anything to wear, or if I know that during the pandemic, our Titan Link provided hotspots and computers for our students who were in need. So really, I often like to say that when you're down in your pumps, when things aren't going well, the Titan Link is a great place that can lift you back up and get you back on course to making the grades that you need in order to graduate and or finish your time at GTCC.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And I want to personally thank each of you for sharing the story. We could not do it without you. And I think it's really important to highlight what's happening all around Guilford County and Greensboro through Guilford Tech Community College. And also want to say a special thank you for your partnership with Campus Greensboro and allowing your students to partner with us. And we look forward to sharing this with many other folks, but your insights have been extremely valuable. Thank you.
Make sure to subscribe so you get new episodes delivered to your device each week. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at GSO Chamber. See you next time.